Everyone needs a reason to wake up in the morning. The first step of becoming someone that isn't just a complete waste of space is getting out of bed. And unfortunately, most people don't have that. The average person wakes up and goes to their shit job every day because they don't have anything else to do, but they really don't exactly want to kill themselves either. Really, a lot of your problems can be solved by just having a purpose in life. Bad drug habit and you need a fix? Boom, purpose fixes that. Porn addict? Boom, purpose fixes that. Feel like your voice doesn't mean anything? Boom, purpose fixes that. The list goes on and on. Seriously, most problems in life can be solved with purpose. The key to not being depressed is unrelenting purpose. So how do you find purpose? Well, really, it starts with making the active decision to stop being a little bitch, which I get is easier said than done, and some people want to be better but have a really hard time hearing that they're being a bitch. But like, dude, between you and me, you're being a little bitch. You gotta knock that off. Stop scrolling online all day. Get out of bed. Stop eating garbage food. Even if you're already on your journey to being the best, I guarantee you still relapse on some of your bitch tendencies now and then. I know that because I do too, and I have to remind myself to stop being a dumb bitch, like, all the time. Like, really, when you start this journey to self-improvement, you're not gonna make it if you give yourself wiggle room. We are all weak little human beings, and if we're given an inch, we'll go for a mile. It's some hard-ass shit, and the way to survive is by being even harder. So, the reason to wake up in the morning, it can be a lot of different things. I kind of narrowed it down to like 9 or 10 things for today, but by no means think that there are only these few right here. In fact, I encourage you to share your reasons to get out of bed in the morning, because your thing could end up being the thing that saves someone's life. Let's talk about anger. When I was a more wide-eyed, naive child, a grand total of maybe 90-ish days ago, I tried to avoid anger as a source to draw strength from, until I realized on a run one day that there's not much that'll make you feel more powerful than being absolutely pissed off at the world 6 miles deep into a run when your legs are starting to go numb. Make fun of my little 6-mile number right there if you want, but I'm not the strongest runner, and as of now, 6 miles is a pretty good number for me. Enough insecurity projecting. There's a lot of good arguments to make for taking all of your anger and making the world feel your pain, if you're able to channel it in a healthy way, that is. Anger just tends to get messy because most people are just too weak to know when it's time to take it out on the world and when it's time to show just a smidge of human decency. And you get all these angry people that don't know what to do with it, and then you see stuff like school shooters all the time. It's just like, you're a fucking idiot for not knowing how to use that anger properly. And I mean, like, obviously that's the most extreme of the extreme examples, but your anger can end up hurting you and others a lot more if you don't know what you're doing with it. So just watch how you use it. Once you know how to really use your anger, it's going to become one of your most powerful tools in your arsenal of getting or giving what you want out of life. Like, I'll have days where absolutely nothing goes right, and I'll go and do something like taking all that anger and just turning it into a fucking awesome video. One of my most popular videos on this channel I was just so pissed off at the world while making it, and it turned into something really amazing. So if you can learn how to control your own anger, you're going to end up really turning some heads. I wrote hate and anger as two different things, but they're pretty similar. Both take a massive amount of self-control to not use like an idiot, and they achieve the same results. Like, there's an awesome argument to make for people that wake up early in the morning just to be a hater. Those are the people that are willing to get shit done because they've got nothing left to lose at this point. And there is nothing more dangerous than someone with nothing else to lose. It sounds like it can come off as almost desperate to use something like that, but I don't really think it's desperate at all. If the only thing fueling you to be your best is anger and hatred, then at least you're still working with the resources you have. And that's a lot better than not working on anything at all, like 99% of the population. But on a more cheery note, if you can get out of bed in the morning and work your ass off because you've got hope for achieving your goals, man, you are going to end up making the world a better place. I love hopeful people, and really, there's not enough of them. I like to consider myself to be a pretty hopeful person because, like, the world we live in just snuffs out hope any chance it can get. I feel like people are just subconsciously taught to think that people hoping for something big are stupid and deserve to be ridiculed. Like, seriously, the ridicule that hopeful people get is just stupid. Like, damn, bro, you're really just gonna be mad because I'm not, like, dead inside like you? That's stupid. Get the hell away from me, you parasite. Like, it sounds incredibly cheesy, but I feel like hope's something in real short supply these days because the world's so good at beating it out of you. If you can hold on to that little hope of becoming the best, then don't stop for anyone. Do whatever you need to do to get to where you want to be, and don't let anyone stop you if you end up being wrong or digging yourself into a hole, because people without any hope wouldn't be able to dig themselves out of it. But you're different. You know where you want to be, so you're not going to let a self-made obstacle get in your way. Now, back onto our toxic king shit. You ever just do something just absolutely insane out of pure spite? The day I wrote the script, I had an 11-hour shift at work, and I was talking to one of my friends about getting some exercise in that night, and he was just relentlessly giving excuses about not wanting to go out, and he just had excuse after excuse to not go and just run a few miles with me. I got really sick of all of his shit, and I told him to just stop complaining, in which he promptly told me to go fuck myself. So I decided that night I was going to run just one extra mile dedicated dedicated to him, and then finish this 3-page script. That being this video script before 12 a.m. hit. Actually, it's like 11:20 right now, so we're still on the clock. That's right, pushing this video out right now is nothing but pure spite, baby. We've got 40 minutes left to finish this, so we'll do a little time check during the outro. But the point is that spite is just... it's so real, man. It kind of just goes back to waking up an hour early just to be a hater, though I feel like spite's a lot more easier to control, because you're essentially just doing something someone told you that you couldn't do. You're really just going to try and prove a point. Obviously, it's got its limits. You're not going to be successful climbing Mount Everest butt-ass naked because someone told you you'd die if you do it. But in our world today, we've got so many people telling us what we can and can't do in our lives, and it really makes you want to go out and just do the opposite just to, well, spite them. I think a lot of people use spite the wrong way. Actually, I think it's a pretty big reason we have so many degenerates in the world. You know, your parents tell you don't go and do drugs and sleep with a ton of people, and you're a stupid child, so your brain doesn't know why they're telling you that, and then you go out and do it, and then boom, you're a used up drug addict. So really, you gotta keep your spite aimed at the people holding you down from being a better person. I'm sure we've all got someone like that in our lives. Hell man, the days I can't find the discipline to push forward, I like to think about some of the people that have held me down before in life, thinking I will literally move mountains just to make them look stupid, and I'll end up having a really successful day because of it. Speaking of discipline though, probably the most badass way to get what needs to be done is just becoming a well-oiled machine. Discipline honestly fucks, and everyone should always be trying to be better with it. You don't do something hard for any particular reason other than it being what you need to do. Then these crazy motherfuckers just go out and do it like it's no big deal. Like, how can you not think that's just badass? They're just so hard to the point where nothing phases them anymore. They know something's gonna suck and they just do it anyway because they know they've got to do it. I don't know what else to say besides I really want to be more like them, and I'm gonna suffer more until I absolutely am. And while we're on the subject of super hard dudes, that came out absolutely terribly. Challenge. It's awesome to just wake up and think, I'm gonna get out of bed and find all sorts of different ways I can make my life harder for the sole purpose of making my life harder. I like to think I do this quite often. I like to be challenged. I get bored of things super easy, so if I don't have something like constantly ripping me to shreds, I just don't know how I'm gonna make it. Challenge is fun, and it not only gives something to look back on and feel proud of yourself, it really allows you to shoot for something even higher. It's like a staircase. You made yourself go up one stair, and now you're gonna make yourself go up another, and you do it again, over and over again. Then when you look behind you, suddenly you're hundreds of feet in the air above everyone else. All because you wanted to work a little bit harder every day. Now, a sense of duty. It's also one of the most honorable ways to focus yourself into being the best you. When you just feel it in your gut, like it's something you have to do, and if you don't do it, you're not going to be able to feel alright, that can lead you to some amazing places, because at that point, where you feel some undeniable calling, you're not going to take any form of no as an answer, and you're going to want to walk your path even if you've got to do it all alone. The journey to self-improvement is a lonely one, so when you finally figured out what your calling is, you have a sense of duty to go out and, well, do it. It's going to make the loneliness much more bearable. Passion has a lot to do with everything I've already said. If you want to go out and spite someone to do what you want to do, you've already got the passion to do it. If you feel an intense sense of duty to do something great, you've already got the passion to do it. Passion's super important, especially today when you consider how much of the world will just take a job that they absolutely hate and work it for decades just because it pays a decent amount. Then like a decade, maybe even less into it, they're already just a dead husk of who they used to be. And you just end up looking for ways to numb yourself to deal with the fact that you lack passion towards everything and anything. If you've already got that spark in you, it's your responsibility to do something with it and not let it go to waste. Because at the end of the day, it's all you really have that you don't have to worry about leaving you, as long as you don't leave it, that is. And if you've considered everything I've said and still find it hard to just push yourself and you just can't find it in you to just keep going, I've got one last thing for you. What else are you gonna do? You've got two options in life. You can either matter or not matter at all. You can grow more and more depressed and spiral further out of control until you've got nothing left besides your stupid coping mechanisms, or you can acknowledge what happens when you're not willing to put the work in and decide yourself to make sure that doesn't happen. Do everything you can to be someone that deserves what you want in life. Nothing's handed to you, and if you don't work for it, what else are you gonna have besides nothing? The more ways you have to stay motivated and focused on your goals, the better off you're gonna be, no matter how weird it is. If it's something that's making you a better person, it's a tool you have at your disposal to get an edge over the other people who would want to see you in the 99%. You people watching these videos like this, you're different. You have that thing inside of you that tells you that you want to be the best you can. Listen to it. Don't let anything or or anyone get in your way of it. Most people don't have it in them to do the things that we're doing, and they can't understand that it's up to you to choose how you're going to carry this burden. So get creative with it. Don't find one thing that works for you. Find multiple, because you're going to be feeling different things on different days. And eventually you're going to have a day where your passion isn't enough to keep you focused on your goal. And when that happens, it might not be such a bad idea to just keep pushing yourself out of spite of what everyone's telling you. If you've got a goal, it's up to you to make it real. And speaking of spite, I got to this point of the script at around 12:10 a.m., so while I technically failed to have this script completely finished at midnight, I also went over my 3-page goal and we're like halfway into the 4th page now. See, that's the passion swapping in where the spite was. Mix and match and make something beautiful. Alright, I have had a long day. I'm going to bed. Subscribe to me if you hate the world. God bless you all, and see ya.